Hi, it's Nicole Hartley-Bradford here, and I'm just going to do a quick Zoom and record it to share with you all about the 7 movements of Project SaLV'age. The 7 movements of Project SaLV'age are the personal steps that I believe, because of my lived experience, are the steps that an individual needs to make in order to move towards the village of their wildest dreams. There is another level of Project SaLV'age that has to do with what a group might need to do in order to build toward the village of their wildest dreams, but it's founded on what each individual needs to do, so I'm starting with this. So the first movement of Project SaLV'age is to be and become more authentically who you were really created to be. So this step has all kinds of experiments and exercises a person can do in order to really ground down into their design and all of the elements that kind of dictate or are precursors to your purpose and your roles and position and the ingredient you are as the village of your wildest dreams is cooked up, so to speak. One of these, the foremost example that I love to give as an exercise, is to brainstorm a list of the 100 things you used to love to do as a child. So what did you do when you got home from school? What did you dream of doing? Who did you want to be like from the books and movies and TV shows that maybe you watched? And what were the things you really wanted to learn and maybe didn't get a chance to learn, and maybe now's your chance. The second movement of Project SaLV'age is to ever more clearly envision the world, the village of your wildest dreams, the future of your wildest dreams, and your place in it. My favorite activity to do in this movement to start people off is to take people through a guided meditation where they live their best day ever. And they wake up in the village of their wildest dreams, and it's all there, it's all complete. I take you through a day and get you to think ahead and behind in that future possibility to how you might have got there and what else it might include outside of that one day. And I do have videos of that, so I will share them where I share this. The third movement of Project SaLV'age is to become ever more intimately aware of the emotions, feelings, thoughts, ideas, all the constructs that make up your current reality. And this is in partnership with the first movement of being and becoming. The being becoming part is kind of the eternal reality of what you might be. And in the third movement of Project SaLV'age, this movement, it's about everything that can change about you. So becoming more aware of what your emotions and feelings are, where they come from, your beliefs and your ideas, your needs in the moment, your desires and longings, so that you might kind of live from this emergent place of these ever-changing things, anchored in the being and becoming that you kind of are discovering thanks to the first movement. And then the fourth movement of Project SaLV'age is all about expressing and sharing. Sharing your vision, sharing your sense of yourself, sharing what's true in the moment about how you're feeling and what you're thinking and what you're needing and wanting, and getting really adept at that. And one of the exercises that I do for this movement is to get people to create a check-in board. So this is a snapshot of where you're at today, what you're up to, what your experiments are right now, what your living situation, your contact details, how to get in touch with you, some of the questions you're asking right now, the wish list that you're working on, calling in the items or services or experiences that your experiments are based on, and sharing that with the world. So it's kind of like an update. Anyone who looks at your check-in board will get a pretty good idea of where you're at, who you are today or lately, what you need, and how they can help. And it's like greasing the wheels of relational interaction with others. The fifth movement of Project SaLV'age is to participate in low stakes activities with other people. So this is just all the stuff that, it doesn't cost you much. It's stuff like, making a meal with someone and sitting down with them, having a Zoom meeting with them, having a phone call, watching a movie with them, talking about the kind of preliminary steps. And the purpose of low stakes activities is so that you can figure out who you want to do high stakes activities with. So that's movement number 6, is to engage in and commit to high stakes activities, run high stakes experiments with people in order to really get to know how you fit together and whether you kind of all have the parts to really create something extraordinary. In the 7th movement of Project SaLV'age, there are 2 parts to it. One is to learn to ever more deeply rest your physical body and to reflect. So the 7th movement is all about taking the results and data of your experiments in the low stakes and high stakes movements and really looking at them. What are you celebrating about what you found by doing those experiments? What was rough? What brought up your stuff? Did you go through it? Did you have the resources you needed? And what did you miss? What are you anticipating for the next try? And what are your priorities and plans, and what are the possibilities that you're orienting yourself toward? And those of you who know my crapping big feedback technique will know that that's where that comes in, the 7th movement of Project SaLV'age. So, of course, all of these movements, I call them movements rather than steps because you can bounce back and forth between them. You're doing one, you're doing the other. They're all interconnected. They have elements of each other in each other. And that's why I use a seed of life to represent the 7 movements of Project SaLV'age. And I really look forward to telling you more about how a group can operate and how there are certain shifts that kind of meta the 7 movements of Project SaLV'age up into a group dynamic. And but that's to get you started. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me. And if you want more exercises in order to empower your participation in the movements, I would so love to give those to you. Bye for now.